towards science and technology for the betterment of India and for India's leadership in the global arena. So next to him is Madam, I need not even tell, already they told Agni Putri. I have also seen Madam many a times as my role model. And many a times I used to think how only Madam would have reached that kind of a position, because female reaching positions as scientist is difficult once upon a time, not now. And in space science, Madam has done lot of remarkable contributions, and today Madam is popularly known as the Missile Woman of India. And even after getting all the recognitions, Madam will conduct herself as though she is not at all having anything anywhere, and like a saint she will be so simple and humble. Please take that lesson. So she is so rich with knowledge, and she is the down-to-earth person. The more you grow in your ladder of career, the more you will be a down-to-earth person. Just see, she herself is a living example, and therefore you can all take this message from Madam in that particular fashion. So next is our Dr. Anantha Ramakrishna. You would have thought that he is just a director of one particular laboratory from CSIR. Friends, all of us are here. We are going to live in this IIT Guwahati for another 2 days. Already this is the second day. 4 days of our life in Northeast, completely enriched with the science and technology fervor, without any inconvenience, with the maximum professionalism, with the maximum, or I would say with the perfect professionalism, with the perfect meticulous planning, everything, the entire activity of India International Science Festival, it is happening because of this simple performer, Dr. Anantha Ramakrishna. Along with his huge team, he is one-man army. His army is everywhere now in this campus. But he is just conducting himself so simple and humble. Because all of us are having, next to him is Harish. Harish, I thought that he is only a scientist. I came to know the story only yesterday late night. They tried one lady for comparing, and that particular madam, thanks to that madam, so finally for some reason she denied. And therefore suddenly 2 people, they just took the responsibility. So one is Harish, the other one is Srijit. Then we realized, oh, these 2 guys are also doing comparing so perfectly. So now the hidden talents, no, this is called rising to the occasion. The moment something is missing, immediately people will rise to the occasion, and that is what is Harish here. So my young friends, please take one message from each and every one of them. I wish to tell you only 2 points and I will conclude. I think I'm taking more time, but I'm not able to control my temptation, and I'm not able to control myself by looking at this huge galaxy of all young minds. Even after a heavy lunch, all of you are looking so bright and so energetic, and I'm just searching for some sleeping person. Nobody is sleeping. So I'm so happy, and I'm so fascinated by this young boy. He looks like a LKG boy. He's such a small guy, and I think he is the best fortunate, and I would say you only. He is now putting the mask. So he's such a small guy, and he is the greatest lucky charm, I would say. At his young age, he is able to see such a big expo and all the visionary leaders in one go. Friends, I will tell you, whatever it may be the size of a building, the building size may be so big, the entire building will have control in only one form, which is called the door. So the controlling door is definitely several times smaller than that of the building that is getting controlled by the door. And the entire door is controlled by only one padlock, and the padlock size is much more smaller, but the padlock only decides whether the door should be opened or not. By simply having the padlock, can you open the door? No. You need the key. What is the size of the key? Have you ever seen such a big key? No. The key is only this much. Such a small key. So only if the key is put into this latch or into this smaller version, that decides whether the building or the door or the room can be opened or not. Therefore, the key is more powerful and it is not the building which is powerful. Building is very big, but who is the decision maker? It is the key. Therefore, for each and every one of us, you should take this as your lesson. For your every big problem, there will be a door kind of a smaller option. For every door, there will be a latch kind of another suboptimal possibility. And the complete solution will be given by only one key, which is nothing but the key is the knowledge. And if you just get the knowledge, you can just open the door and the whole world, you can really become the kings and queens of the paradise. And therefore that key is the knowledge, that key is the education, that key is the question. So if you just make use of these questions as the keys, I think you will be able to open any kind of a door, and by means of which you can have the entry to any kind of a big place. Therefore, as soon as we all finish our talks, you should make use of the key. Key is nothing but questions. So come up with very useful questions. The right choice of the key will open the right choice of the door, and the right choice of the door will take you to the right choice of a big palace or a paradise. Therefore, choice is yours, and therefore now get geared up with the questions. Now I want to say one more very great example. This is just a story because there are so many people. It is an imaginative story only. Once one young person like you, he was told that if at all he is doing kind of a fasting, and if you do some tapas, then some God will appear and God will give him some kind of a boon by means of which he can get whatever he wants. Therefore he started his tapas. This is not my story. This story was told by one very popular orator called Shanmuga Vadivelu. So he only told it in Tamil. I am just translating it in English. So he started his tapas and he started doing the tapas with the meditation. So he never decided what is required for him. What he wanted is, he will do tapas, God will appear, he will ask for boons and God will give him boons, then he will ask for whatever he wants and he will get and he will live happily. This is the kind of a thing he started his tapas. To his surprise, God immediately appeared. So because God was just going for a walk that side, he saw him doing this tapas. He then suddenly appeared before him. He asked, "My son, what do you want?" Then he said, "Who are you?" He said, "I am God." He was not able to believe. "How can I believe that you are the God?" Then he said, "No, I am only God. I don't want you to trouble yourself for a longer time. I am fully convinced that you will do this tapas. So now tell me, what do you want?" Then this guy got confused because he never made up his mind. He never had any plans. He never made up his mind that what is required for him. Never had any kind of a plan because he never thought that God will appear. So he was totally confused. Then he told God, "You can really go for 2-3 more rounds of walking because I have to make up my mind. I do not know what I want now. So let me come up with a kind of my wish list. Once I am ready with my wish list, I will be able to tell you." Then God said, "No, my son, I cannot come back to you. I will appear only once. I have already appeared. This is the first and last chance. So if you want me to give you boons, just make use of it." Then finally this guy had no other issue. Then he said, "God, I am extremely sorry. Now also I have no idea. What I want is not known to me." Then God, he took pity on this guy. Then God said, "Okay, my son, no problem. You are the perfect human being, example of a perfect human being. You do not know what you want, but I will give you 3 different, I would say, coins. 3 coins I will give you. And whenever you want to pray or want something, you can just roll 1 coin and you can ask for, you will get 1. Like that in your life 3 times you can use 3 coins and whatever you want you can do." Then this boy was happy. Then he said, "Thank you, God." He came home. Now started the issue. First question is whether the person who appeared is really God. Whether he has given me only the boon. Whether the coin will have its own effect. He wanted to check. So he was going on again now. He wanted to check how to check also. He was just going on walking. Then there was a mirror. He looked at him. Then he felt that his nose is not very sharp. So his nose is little snubbed. Then he thought, okay, let me check. Let me take a light example. Therefore he took the first coin, he rolled it and he said, I want a long nose. Then actually it happened. The moment he rolled the coin, his nose became so long. Now he cannot come out of the room because it is so long. He never gave any kind of a specification. How many centimeters, how many millimeters, what is the thickness, nothing he said, no specification. Simply he said, I want a long nose. Therefore God gave him the longest nose. Now he is not able to come out of the room. What to do? Now the second problem started. Then he was really worried. Then he thought, okay, no problem, I have 2 more coins. Now he took the second coin, he again rolled it. Now he prayed, no, I want the nose to go inside. This time again, he did not say any specification. He never said how much is the depth at which it should go. Now this time also it happened. The whole nose disappeared and only 2 holes were there finally on his face. Second time miserably failed. Now this guy is deeply worried. Second choice is also over. Now what is left out with? Only 1 more coin. This is a coin that should save his life. Now also this guy, he doesn't know what he wants. Therefore he took the third coin, he rolled it and he prayed, God, I want my nose how it was earlier. So he got the same nose back without any change. So what is the message behind the story? Unless otherwise you know what you want to become, to what extent you want to excel, when do you want to excel, how and all you want to excel. If that kind of clarity is not there, even God cannot help us. That is the message. Therefore, my young friends, though it may look like a fabricated story, this is a moral story, because all of you should understand in the scientific world, everything should have its own specification. You should know what you want, why you want, how you want it to happen, when you want it to happen, where you want to happen, in which form you want it to happen. If you have all these clarities, I think this is what will decide the success of your life. Finally, you can ask me, ma'am, I'm just 10-year-old kid, I'm just 15-year-old kid. How do you expect me that I can also do something for Viksit Bharat 2047? Please understand and please believe, trust my words. Viksit Bharat 2047 is not going to be made possible by one leader or group of leaders or group of political parties or group of scientific people or set of industries or set of NGOs or set of MSMEs. No. Viksit Bharat 2047 is possible and could be made possible only by contributions from each and every one of us. Whatever small thing that you can do, whatever small fraction of contribution you can do, please plan it. You can think that this is what I can do. Please do that. Do it in the name of indigenization. Do it in the name of your contribution to India. India will take it further on a scale and finally it will reach the global arena by means of which India will be remembered forever. Therefore friends, all of us are bearing the torch. All of us are having the flag of India. Let us take the flag and make India to feel proud in the coming times, especially for the science and technology driven developments in the global arena. So take all the examples. You have listened so much, you have witnessed so much. After this you can come and touch, talk, argue. Then finally you can take your own decision, but take the decision with a specification. Take decisions scientifically, because science and technology alone can save human beings. With these few words, I wish you all the very best. I should thank the organizers so generously, and I should really wish to close this by telling Suraj Soman, who is really comparing this. He himself is an Young Scientist Award winner. Therefore, whomsoever is conducting this event, don't think that they are all XYZ people. They are all known very specially, very particularly for every good qualities and capabilities in their own field. Therefore, you are all so fortunate. Just enjoy all the 4 days, experience science and become scientists and make India to feel proud with your science and technology. Thank you so very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, madam. There are no words to speak now, I am sure. Madam has taken us to the fairy tale world of science and technology. And as madam mentioned, I'm sure like she had ignited each one of your spirits and mind towards attaining the Viksit Bharat by 2047 through innovative technological breakthroughs. They're taking up the science as a career in your future. Thank you, madam. Thanks a lot. And as madam mentioned, now the floor is completely open. You can touch, feel and experience a scientist in real. Dr. Kalai Selvi madam is here, and please do take this opportunity. Kindly please come up with the questions, interact with her, please. It's working.
I think without wasting time, you can raise your hand and you can start bombarding me with questions. I'm ready for that attack. Yeah, please.
Namaste Riddhi. Myself Rasmita NTP from Vivekananda Tumprang. And my question is that any life is possible to, whether any life is possible to live in black hole?
Black hole? You want to live, want to know whether life on black hole is possible?
Yes.
I think madam will be the right person to answer this particular question because it is her field related question. But still, I really appreciate your boldness. Sit down, sit down, sit down. Now the message is, answer will be given by madam. But I will tell you one thing. She is now at whether we can live in the black hole. Because she already understood one factor very clearly. Mother Earth is not sufficient for all of us to live. So we are going to conquer Mars and we will go to other planets also. Then also we are not going to get ourselves to think about even black hole also. Ma'am, tell whether we can live in black hole? Borrowed answer.
It is difficult as of the science. Black hole is the galaxy of high temperature gases getting accumulated in this with the center of gravity. So very high, unless otherwise human being protection system to enter there. Even then the gravitational pull which will suck you inside to the black hole is too high. So as scientific knowledge doesn't allow us.
Anyway, your question on black hole, no, it is making us to get trapped. That point is very clear. That's what madam said. The temperature, I think it is, no, the voice was not clear. Madam clearly says that the temperature will be a bothering issue. So as on date, we do not have that kind of a temperature adjusting arrangement so that confidently we cannot say today that yeah, it is possible. Human life in black hole is possible. Then madam is worried about even the gravitational effects also. Next question. I think I'll stand here. I think that's better.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah?
Here, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. Wherever you are. Yes. Yes.
My name is Shrutishmita Burman. I'm from Lalans Integrated Element, Nalbari. So my question is to, as the first woman who leads CSIR, what kind of challenges did you face and how did you overcome them?
You're asking me challenge. Yeah, thanks for the question. Many a times people, they ask me this question. I will tell you, no, sit down, sit down. Once upon a time, it would have been a challenge for anyone and everyone to consider the leadership or for going for higher education. I will tell you many times I have told I should really thankfully, one more time I should say thanks to my parents because they supported me enormously even during my childhood. Whenever I decided that I will go for higher education, and even if after I took charge as a scientist, when I joined as a scientist, then also I was able to manage my career as well as my family life both very, I would say not significantly or at least in a manageable way because of the support system. But you as youngsters, I will tell you one thing. Now even the society itself is having number of support systems. So when you are going for some job, the support system is already in place and therefore you need not worry about it. Again now parents are having more awareness that when the kids are becoming the fathers or mothers or when they go for employment, whatever requirement is there for the family to run their family, parents always there support. Therefore I also grew with the right choice of a family setup and the secondary support system, due to which I did not find anything very challenging, whereas I really understood and realized it at a later point that my ignorance, my innocence, my lack of awareness in many cases, that were only very challenging for me to come out of all those things. So otherwise no, I am telling you one more point, whether it is happiness or success, it should come from within because they both are very much related to only you. Your success cannot be stopped by anyone. Your happiness cannot be disturbed by anyone. Your happiness and your success, it can be, it should be, it will be, and it is supposed to be decided only by you. So in that way, I think I am fortunate and I am thankful to my family, my support system, my organization and the entire ecosystem and the country on the whole. Thanks.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yep.
Ma'am, here.
No problem. I am looking somewhere. You just start the question.
Ma'am, I am Gargi Vasishta from Pragya Academy.
My left or right? Where are you?
Ma'am, left.
Left. Okay. Okay.
Ma'am, I had a question.
Yeah.
How does CSIR support scientific education and training?
Scientific education and?
Training.
Training. Oh, I think it's the simplest question. Actually for scientific training and scientific education, we have a special wing called Jigyasa. So every CSIR laboratory, there is a team of scientists who are calling themselves as Jigyasa scientists. So they periodically invite school children to visit the CSIR labs. The moment you visit the CSIR labs, they will guide you to different labs. Again, you can do whatever I said. You can touch, feel, talk, not only the scientists but also the lab, the environment, and you can create some kind of a connect with the scientists as well as with the laboratories, and you can stay connected with the same laboratory and the scientists and the core area of your research throughout your lifetime. So this program is called Jigyasa, and we from CSIR labs, once upon a time we used to keep our labs open for only one day, which is the 26th of September, the foundation day of CSIR. Now we are keeping the labs open for students as well as, I would say, science lovers. If at all they write a mail, they write a letter intimating the director of the laboratory that we 10 of us, 50 of us, 100 of us, we want to visit your laboratory. Many laboratories every month, at least on a Friday or on a Wednesday, like that they are coming up with one particular day on which you can visit the laboratory. So one is visit of this laboratory by means of which you can make science as your future career pathway. That is number one. Training is you can stay in the laboratory and you can take trainings, and the area of training will be pertinent to the lab. Apart from that, they are now conducting number of ATAL related labs also, learning tools also, and therefore the Jigyasa group will give you lot more experience and exposure by way of taking you to different walks of science and technology. Thanks for this very important question because it is pertinent to all school children. Yeah, good afternoon. Why?
Shines at night.
What is she asking? Why? Eyes are lighting.
Why?
Why animal eyes are shining? I think that much GK I don't have. Madam, do you know the answer? Anantaramakrishna, do you know the answer? I have seen cat eyes very, I think GK, I will refer and come back to you. You know the answer, I believe. You don't know? But you look like you know the answer. No problem, no problem. This IASF will come back to you with the right answer. Okay? Truly I am telling you. But one thing, no, you are making me to understand one point. So animals are having very shiny eyes. That's why they are not wearing spectacles. Good. I think they are very powerful. Their eyes are powerful. Their observation is powerful, unlike human beings. That lesson I learned. Thanks.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, myself Vinod Pandey.
I think grown-up kid is asking. Yes.
I am from Ramanujan Academy,
Good.
Senior Secondary School, Bhattacharya.
Good.
Ma'am, my question is, what qualities or skills should a student develop to succeed in STEM field?
What are the qualities required to succeed?
In STEM field, STEM.
STEM field. I think then it will look like I am advising. STEM requires nothing but hard work. I will say one is basic understanding. Science, technology, I would say whether it is engineering or mathematics, whichever way you say, I think basic understanding is essential. If you understand the basics, once you put the foundation, then any type of a building you can build. Therefore, STEM is also not an exception. If you have a great and an in-depth understanding of the fundamentals of science and engineering and mathematics, I think you can really shape your career in whichever way you want. You will be amazed to know that I studied chemistry, but 25 years I practiced electrochemistry. Now I am talking about all branches of science. Therefore, it is only the foundation and the basic knowledge from which we can really make it as a drawing and we can extrapolate it in the way we want it. So, basic science. Thanks. Yeah? No, you tell, somebody else will help me to, yeah.
Namaste ma'am.
Namaste.
I am Subhrajita Burman from Shankardev Vidyaniketan Vishnupad. My question is, I heard somewhere that a brain can active for 7 minutes after death. How can a brain can active for 7 minutes after death?
I was also told, I do not know, 7 minutes brain is going to be active even after death. That is what her question is. And how it can be active, that is her question. So I also heard that even after death, even nails will also grow for a few more minutes. And people say like this, maybe some biology related person will be able to give you the right choice of answer, but these things are definitely possible. Maybe that is the power of brain, maybe. Even after we die also, it remains powerful and it takes little more time to shut off. Maybe it is the power of neurons. It is the way nature has created human being. Anyway, scientifically, maybe Ananta, these two questions we can note down and we'll come back to you with a real scientific reply. Thank you. I think your brain works very fast and very differently. Good question.
Namaskar. I am Priyanka Soduri. I have a question which is related to technology. The question is, how does AI work?
How does AI work? It is a man-made tool only. It is artificial intelligence. These days mainly we are using AI for, I would say, data mining, data processing, and how best it could be given a kind of a training by means of which whatever we want to do, that will do it at a faster rate. Integration is possible, and I would say scale up is also possible. The way you fix up the training, the way you train, I think artificial intelligence will be able to cover everything. No, I'm just not giving you the scientific answer. From the name itself I'm telling you, it is only artificial intelligence. So you are creating some kind of an intelligence. It is some man-made intelligence. So you can just design the intelligence in such a manner wherever you want it to help. So accordingly you can make this AI. This is called customization. So if you customize AI in such a manner, that will help you in whichever way you want. I talked about some coin, no? Whatever you want you will give, no? AI also will give, provided you know the specifications. Okay, thanks.
Hello, ma'am.
Ma'am, I think ma'am also will have one more question. Yeah.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, please.
I am Shivani Kashyap from Pragya Academy, Senior Secondary School, Batisarali. I want to ask you a question. How you enhance the future of science and technology to shaping the art in next 20 years?
What is she asking?
How you enhance the
Future of science and technology? How do you envisage the future of science and technology? Oh, ma'am, actually you are my guru. She is asking, how do you envisage science and technology? In one line I would say, science and technology should come up with a kind of redressal mechanism, or it should be able to address every problem of not only the mankind, every creature on the earth and under the sun. Because every one of us, for example, even any disease comes, nowadays we'll be thinking it is only amongst human. But this disease is getting spread by number of other creatures also. So therefore, that's why we always talk about the holistic approach. Now even the government is giving one mission called One Health Mission. So there, human health, animal health, plant health, soil health, and even the birds and reptiles, their health are also included. Because now our life is having lot of dependence on the ecosystem. In our ecosystem we have very many things. Therefore, if at all we want to make sure one particular component, we have to set right every component in its right way. Therefore, I envisage science and technology that this is the only remedy, only solution, and it is the everlasting solution, and that is a universal solution by means of which life on earth or life in moon or life in Mars, whichever planet you go, or even if you go to black hole also, that could be made comfortable only through science and technology. Thank you so very much. All the best. Thanks a lot.
I'm sure all of you will agree that this is one of the best among the sessions that we ever had. Give a wide round of applause to Madam for spending this much time with us. You know, she is actually completely busy with the IASF, and we kindly requested her to be with us to spend time with you kids, and she kindly agreed to that. Thank you, Madam, from the organizer side for allotting us this particular session. Thank you, Madam. Thanks a lot. So to students, I request all of you to give Madam a promise that each one of you will contribute to the science or to the technology to realize Vikasit Bharat 2047. Say yes. That's from our side, Madam. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So we'll go ahead. So it is our privilege today to welcome Dr. Tessie Thomas, the Missile Woman of India, to address our students. As the former Director General of Aeronautical Systems and Project Director of the Agni 4 missile at the Defense Research Organization, she holds the distinction of being the first woman to lead a missile project in India. Under her visionary leadership, India has achieved remarkable advancements in missile technology, strengthening its position globally. Madam, we are deeply grateful for your presence today. Your interaction will be a tremendous source of motivation for the students here, especially aspiring the young minds. We warmly invite you to engage with them and inspire their scientific journeys for the future. Please, Madam.
Very respected Dr. Kalai Selvi ma'am, and all the distinguished guests on the stage, off the stage, and my dear students. Very good evening to all of you. Very good evening to all of you. Yeah, I want to wake you all up. So it's really a proud moment for me to come over here to IIT Guwahati and interact with all of you. See, I will tell a few things about my journey as a scientist. After doing my engineering, I got opportunity to write an entrance test for MTech in guided missiles. I must admit to you, all of you, that I was not knowing much about guided missiles per se. But since we were to take up some job or for higher studies, and wrote that entrance test, and all across the country, only 10 students will be selected for this MTech program by DRDO. It's a DRDO sponsored. And since the test was conducted at Pune, and my elder sisters used to stay in Pune, that was the only motivation to move all the way to Pune and write that test. But I was fortunate. After the test, there was an interview also. Came back. Didn't complete my BTech exam. Viva was still pending. But came back, wrote the Viva OC, and came back home, securing from the hostel. Next day of my reaching my home, I got a telegram saying that I have been selected for this course and I should come and join within some 2 days' time. So that is how I landed in DRDO sponsored MTech program. That is, I must consider that was one of the turning point in my life. Otherwise, I was to write HAL entrance test or BHEL, many other industries, and look for a job. Having studied the MTech in guided missiles, I was posted to DRDO laboratory, DRDL at Hyderabad, where again I was fortunate. The then director of DRDL was Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. I was straight away posted under Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, where he has assigned me to work on Agni missile projects and its guidance. That gave me the opportunity to learn about the missiles. The real learning happened in our laboratory. The theoretical knowledge, of course, from the MTech program. And then at the time, I'm talking about 1986, we as a country didn't even have a single missile. Today, 30 to 40 years, we are well equipped and indigenously made systems and self-sufficient. We can say that any missiles, tactical missiles, shorter range, different application against an aircraft, against a ship, against tank, all versions of missiles were developed with then the great visionaries like Dr. Kalam and all envisioned that within 15 to 20 years that we should have technologies capable of making our country secure. Today, Madam was mentioning, Kalai Selvi ma'am was mentioning about another 23 years, our country, as our Prime Minister's vision, that our country should be a developed India. It is possible. It is possible. You are the next generations who will be at the ages of 30 and 40, who will really turn the technology into applications. And you are the ones who are going to change the world. Today, if I compare the knowledge of me and the students who are sitting over here, it is actually 10 times knowledgeable children are in front of me. Because this is the era in which the knowledge is everywhere and you are living in a world where the knowledge is abundant and you need to deep learn these knowledge and be the people who will create wonders in this world. See, we with the textbook knowledge, we were the people who had to struggle to establish technology. When we took up the manufacturing of or production of missiles, our country didn't have any manufacturing industries. From setting up of these industries to the process development, everything happened within the 10-15 years, and India started becoming developing manufacturing technologies. Today we are at Industry 4 revolution, and our capability has come to a level of automation. That is where the artificial intelligence and robotics, all these science enhancements have come, science advancements have come, and we are in a position to create a world of autonomous systems. See, I worked on missiles, worked on all the Agni series of missiles, developed this guidance scheme for long range systems, started from solid propulsion system development, first of its kind in the country, and we developed technologies which was not given to us. Means as a country we were certain of the technologies were denied. So giving us a development which we considered as impossible, and today lot of advancements is there with respect to technology, and many opportunities are there. While working on missiles, I used to feel that was the toughest of the technology. Then I moved as Director General of Aeronautical Systems, where fighter aircraft, where we need redundancy with respect to the safety of the operation, the pilot is involved. So we had to work on systems with redundant capabilities. Then came the autonomous, that is the unmanned fighter aircrafts, where we call it the UAVs, the smaller ones you have seen, the drones, but I am talking about a military compact aircraft which can autonomously take off and do all the functions what is required as a fighter aircraft, launch the missiles or bomb depending on the target which is seen. If an enemy aircraft is there, it has to understand first whether it is an enemy aircraft or a friendly aircraft from an air force, or situation, the awareness, surveillance, all has to be done indigenously, and the inside onboard computer has to decide whether based on the information data collected, it has to go through a lot of AI based algorithms and then decide whether a missile has to be fired or a bomb has to be released if it is a ground target. So such decision making capabilities are only possible by using AI and deep learning languages and techniques. I would like to continue in English, maybe technically very difficult to convey in Hindi. Questions they can ask in Hindi, no problem, I will try to answer. So, what I want to convey to all of you is, it's the opportunity what comes, and each one of you should tap the opportunity to learn. As a scientist, every moment is a learning curve. Unless otherwise you are knowledgeable, unless otherwise you know what is happening all across the world, you cannot think of making something new. So to be an innovator or an inventor, you need to be at learning phase all the time. And you need to be a different personality, different from others. So you need to be self-confident, like unless otherwise you are confident of yourself, you will not be able to perform. So you have to have the capability to have an intuitive spirit, that means confident from you to take the decision. I want to be a scientist, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a doctor. The science stream, the scientific field what you want to choose. So today diverse fields are available, multidisciplinary forums are there, our government initiatives for the NEP 2020 from the school levels, in its true sense, the education along with the skill development. It's a very motivated environment in the schools. So that while learning, we are also learning the training and the skill development part. It's going to give you a long innings because you are understanding the real science behind and then learning. So it's going to make you a different person. And I want to say words from Dr. Kalam. One of his quotes, all birds find shelter during rain, but eagle fly above the clouds to avoid the rain. What does it mean? You need to be an eagle to achieve something. The challenges will come in your path of journey, in your path of career, in your path of progress, but you need to know to overcome those challenges, and each challenges you should take it as an opportunity to learn, and schooling is the best forum for learning. So I must tell you, when me in school, interested in science and mathematics, but at the same time I used to wonder why all these scientists were born and they are giving lot of laws. We need to, maybe without understanding we were to learn it, why all these scientists were born. Today when you look at, when you really go through the scientists' equations and laws what they have given, the real meaning is felt only when you go through the applications. So, but you are all fortunate to learn the laws along with its applications, and know how and know why is known to you, and that is how we need to proceed. Keep concentrate on your studies, whatever is taught, learn it with lot of interest. That will lead you to a great person. Thank you all. I think we'll go through some interactions. Yeah.
Namaskar, good afternoon ma'am. My name is Himanshu Pratimdaka. I am studying in Ramanujan Academy Senior Secondary School, Bhatasariali. I would like to ask you two questions. The first one is, how does your work impact everyday life or project you have worked on?
How is the work?
How does your work impact everyday life or project you have worked on?
Yeah, if you consider a project director as a project director, yes, there are very difficult times where we have to go through sometimes stress. That is because we are developing technologies for the first of its kind in our country, where there is no support from any other, neither industry nor any other organization all world across doesn't give. We have to make indigenous. So there will be the development process, going through the iterations of developing
So it takes its own time and challenges. We go through that, and daily routines of, if you take sometimes the test of a missile or a launch vehicle, it takes more hours, more than 24 hours. All our team will be there in turn, or we are there to take care of this type of testing. And it's a dedicated team, a committed team works for making it happen. So since we all know the responsibility for which we are all working for, time is not a constraint. And we keep doing our job till we complete. That is the type of dedication. Yeah. Thank you.
Ma'am, myself Liza Rangpi. I ask one question. Who am Marcel? How a Marcel guided to particular location?
Can you say once again?
Guided to particular location.
How missile is guided to particular location?
Okay. So I was all through my life I was doing missile guidance only. So I think it is, to take from a launch point, you have to send it to a target point. You will have some coordinates of the target is known, and the coordinates of the launch point is known. In Agni class of missiles, you need only these two information: the latitude and the height. Latitude, longitude, and the height of the launch point, and latitude, longitude. You would have heard about the navigational system, inertial navigation system. It computes, it senses the acceleration when the vehicle is moving. Acceleration, if you integrate, you will get the position. Again, double integrate, we get the velocity. So with this position and velocity information, you can guide the vehicle. A trajectory path can be determined by controlling the missile movements. So that is how we take from one point to the other. And it is in a closed loop. So any errors, any deviation is coming, the onboard computer will correct it and take it back to the path it is to follow. That is how we follow for the guidance.
Hello ma'am, I am Gargi Basista from Pragya Academy, Bahata Sareli. Ma'am, I had a question. What is your advice for women who want to become scientists and achieve their dreams?
Yeah, you need to study. As a student, study as much as you can and then be knowledgeable. See, if I can very straightforward, I can tell you, it's the knowledge what matters. When it's women or then it doesn't matter. When it comes to a scientific field, it is your potential and the knowledge, know how and know why. If you are knowing that part of it, nobody can stop you in moving ahead in the scientific field. That's what proven, like Dr. Kalai Selvi ma'am and all the scientists over here. It's your knowledge what matters.
Namaskar ma'am, I am Shravan Kumar Bhattacharya. I am from Shankardev Vidyaniketan Narangi. And my question is that, will time travel ever be possible for human beings?
Time travel. Forward travel. Yeah, time travel. Yes, we hear such things, but it's again something to predict. Maybe AI coming in field, applied AI with our human brains, may be possible. Okay. Otherwise, as a fairy tale, we keep hearing that.
Hello ma'am, my name is Virginia. I'm from Ramanujan Academy. So we all know that space missions requires a lot of money. So why are we spending a lot of money just to find water in moon surface or just study the surface? How it will help mankind?
Yeah. See, space exploration, why we need to have, you must be knowing about our planet Earth, we are having problems like resources, water resource, minerals, all are becoming a scarcity. Maybe because of a population increase, the requirement, and we are in a galaxy where the universe consists of other planets. Exploring other planets is one possibility of enhancing our knowledge. So we feel that other planets do have the minerals and resources which is not available in our planet. So that is where the space exploration, and for a scientific enhancement, the money spent is very limited. If you get to know the knowledge and the resources, if we are able to catch on that, and tomorrow Dr. Somnath will be here, he will tell you, he even wishes that totally the earth will not be sufficient to live in few years from now, and we may have to move our habitat itself to some other planet. So that is the way the human beings, see, we do not know what all 2000 years before how the human being led the life. Today we are all with the facilities all around technologies. Look at another 100 years from now. What is going to be the constraint in this planet Earth? Maybe water. So we have to look for resources. What is going to be there in the outer planets? That's how we explore. It's a scientific exploration and the research. So today we say, earlier we used to say sky is the limit. Today we say sky is not the limit. There's a cosmic world above the sky which we need to explore and become knowledgeable.
Why don't we spend it to heal Earth?
Huh?
Why don't we spend the amount of money we spend to explore
Money in the earth. We are utilizing the whole of Earth's resources. We are thinking of a scenario where the whole of Earth resources have been fully utilized, which is not sufficient for our planet Earth to have the population. So we need to migrate. That's why we are looking at the world across, is looking at possibility of exploring the space, other planets where human life can persist.
Namaskar ma'am, my name is Devajit Chakravarti. I am from Shankardev Vidyaniketan Narangi. मैम कुछ मिसाइल ऐसे होते हैं कि वो एनिमी एयरक्राफ्ट के हीट को डिटेक्ट करके उनको टारगेट करते हैं, वो कैसे काम करते हैं?
हीट को, तो that is based on IR sensing. So the radiation from the IR, infrared radiations which is coming from the plume of the aircraft, the burning exhaust of the aircraft engines, that is detected through our IR sensors, what we carry as the capability, and sense that and fire against that. It homes on to that final stage, it will home on to that IR beam of that and then strike. That is the principle.
नमस्कार मैम, मैं ये पूछना चाहती हूँ, क्या एलियन सच में होते हैं?
मेरे ख्याल से भी मैं भी वो फिल्म देखा है, ऋतिक रोशन फिल्म, एंड एलियंस वे देयर. So we call it like Mars planet. They do have human habitats and aliens are there. Flying objects are there. That's what the science has still not proven their existence completely, but there are stories or maybe real world thing. They may be humans because wherever air, oxygen, water is available, there can be humans, so there can be aliens. It's only a can be, it's yet to be proven affirmatively. Maybe later, you are all the scientists who has to say hello to the aliens. Possible.
Hello ma'am, I am Nirjima Begum from Pragya Academy by Hatasarali. My question is, how do you simulate real world combat scenarios to test missile effectiveness?
Yeah, nowadays the computing capability is so high, you can create any scenario, the war scenario, network-centric warfare scenario can be created and then test against that. So it is a possibility of creating simulative world, no? So anything and everything, an incoming aircraft is coming, one missile is coming. So you can have different defensive weapons to target each of them. Missiles, fighter aircrafts, spy satellites, everything can be positioned and you can strike the thing. That's a war gaming scenario. It's a software developed things along with artificial prediction, correction, all adaptiveness, all is a possibility.
Namaskar ma'am. I am Krishnada Deka from Sankadev Shishu Vidya Niketan, Beltala. My question is how to control the ray of mobile tower because we want to save and protect our environment.
Mobile tower, radio waves. Yeah, the technology is developing now. We are going to get into the wireless type of environment. But radio waves are going to be there, present. Only you may avoid the towers, concentrated locations will be avoided. But the way the satellite wave communications are going to come up, so this type of mobile towers will vanish and wireless type of direct-to-direct, cell-to-cell type of communication is possible. That's coming up.
Hello ma'am, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I am Richa Kakoti from Pragya Academy Baihata Sayali. I have a question for you. My question is that what role do scientists have in addressing pressing global issues like poverty, healthcare and education?
Poverty,
healthcare and education.
So all scientists work from the field of life science. They work for healthcare and what is the third one? Poverty? Education. Now all of us, if you see, we interact with the academic institutions as scientists. So the knowledge sharing between whatever scientific innovations what we did, that get moved on to the academicians, and from academicians we learn certain of the science part. So it is an collaboration between academia and scientists. So that is one way, the education and the healthcare. Like robots and robotic applications. Today healthcare has a lot of robotic surgery and tele-surgery. All is out of scientific research and works done. So today if you see the doctors, it is not the doctor alone, the medical part alone. It's the engineering and the electronics, the avionics combined is a performer. Like doctors need to know the other part of engineering part of the science also. So it's always linked. Mean to say the agriculture science, the agriculture revolution what has happened. Madam mentioned about it that India was a poor country where we didn't have food grains for our own people. That was the era from which in 30 years or 20 years we have gone into a surplus of food. So you can't call it today we have any poverty. So that is a growth of agriculture science, what we have, irrigation, the drip, the type of scientifically developed crops and the irrigation techniques, drip irrigation. So all this is coming out of the engineering outcomes or the scientific outcomes. So all have given us a country to come into a developing nation, and we have come out of poverty. So India is no more called as a poor country. We are stepping, within another 20 years, we will be seeing as a world economy. We'll cross the levels with the gigantic world around us. Definitely a country will turn out to be number one with respect to Vikasit Bharat. So that will happen. So education, healthcare, and the poverty what you are mentioning. I don't call India as a poor country, no more. So healthcare also, India is one of the place where scientifically healthcare is taken care. So we don't have to worry anything about these things, and education part, you are the younger generations who is going to do wonderful things with the knowledge around you. Thank you.
मुझे पता है सबके मन में बहुत सारे सवाल है, लेकिन थोड़ा सा वक्त का भी ख्याल रखना पड़ेगा। तो और मैंने जो सवाल देखे हैं, बहुत सारे सवाल आपके सिमिलर है। या तो आप मैम जो बोल रही है वो सुन नहीं रहे, बस सवाल मन में आपके चल रहा है। तो मैम जो बोल रही है, क्योंकि वुमेन साइंटिस्ट के बारे में मुझे लगता है 5-6 लोगों ने तो पूछ लिया है, तो वुमेन साइंटिस्ट के बारे में अभी और नहीं पूछेंगे, क्योंकि वही मैम जवाब दे चुकी है, दोनों मैम। ठीक है, तो अभी 2 सवाल लेंगे, लेकिन अलग अलग स्कूल से लेंगे। प्रज्ञा एकेडमी और रामानुज एकेडमी से हो गया है। कोई भी एक शंकरदेव शिशु निकेतन कोई भी है तो एक सवाल वहां से लेंगे और एक सवाल ले लेंगे। बाकी प्लीज आप अपनी अपनी जगह पे बैठ जाए। थैंक यू।
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Parthajiti Bashya from Lalans Integrated Academy. Ma'am, my question might be a peculiar, but what is the key concept of hit to kill in a mission?
What is
the key concept of hit to kill in a missile?
What is the
Concept of hit to kill in a missile.
hit to kill? Okay. Hit to kill is nothing but go and hit it. That means CEP of 0. CEP is 50% chance of hitting the missile or striking the target. So if we have full one we call point to point strike, then we call kill to hit. Hit to kill.
Yes, ma'am, hit to kill. Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Donadas Hajarika and I am from Lalans Integrated Academy. Ma'am, my question is from, ma'am, the recent mission from NASA that they had sent 2 astronauts to space, and the mission was supposed for 8 days only. But for many technical issues, they have to extend the mission, and it was then they have already spent over 60 days. And ma'am, the decision was not even declared when they will return. So ma'am, did you think it was one of the biggest downfall in the field of science?
Are you talking about Sunita Williams?
Ma'am, yes.
Her journey is unexpected failure in the space station has happened, and the astronauts are prepared to leave, like they are prepared for the unprepared things. So they, even if they are stuck there, maybe due to the scientific technological issues or the challenges or the problems that faced, and they tried to rectify. NASA tried remotely whatever can be done to arrest the leakage what is happening or repair the equipment there, but it didn't happen. So as a scientist, as an astronaut, they are prepared, their mind is prepared to face any challenges, this type of non-operational challenges. Their mind is prepared for such a journey, and they are there, they are very safe there. With the next mission from the SpaceX, Elon Musk launch vehicle, they will be brought back. Till that time we have to wait and see. So what is happening? Definitely it helps, maybe their health to some extent, but they are used to and they will face that.
Ma'am, just last question.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, myself Shopta Shoshaha. I am from Pranavananda Vidya Mandir School, Lamding. And my question for you, ma'am, is that, ma'am, these space rockets cost huge to make, and moreover, India does not have any heavy vehicle space rocket that can like go to moon just 3 days like other countries have, like USS has Saturn V, like these heavy rockets. So as India's motto of like, getting the most from the cheapest thing, and we all know that these rockets cost huge as compared to these missiles. So do you think that these missiles can replace space rockets for future missions?
No, if you look at missiles, the rocket size is in fact lesser than the launch vehicles. Launch vehicles have the higher potential because it has to travel for days together and hours to. Whereas these rockets may be flying at a higher speed in the atmosphere or to close to 1,000 kilometer. But the launch vehicles has to go to very high altitude, geostationary 36,000 kilometers away. So the rocket size is more for a launch vehicle, and we are developed the cryogenic engine so that sustainability for longer duration is there, and larger rockets can be made with the potential of making the propellants. That's the only thing. So going to hybrid fueling, like hybrid systems will give you a much faster. Then you have to develop the structure to withstand the high temperature and the shocks which is going to come from that huge rocket motors. That's the only thing. It's a matter of time and step. Definitely ISRO is working on hybrid type of fuels which will again propel us at a faster journey. That's the way. Thank you all.
Thank you, madam. Sincere thanks to you for spending this much time with us, and thanks for accepting our invitation and coming up today to interact with our kids. So, I request all of you to give a huge round of applause to Tessie madam. And I'm quite sure that there will be many eagles flying very high from this audience for the future India. Do you all agree to that? Okay, so to proceed with, we are coming to the end of the session. So I kindly request our director, Dr. C. Anandaramakrishnan, to felicitate our chief guest of the day. Sir, first, Dr. Kalaiselvi madam, TGCSIR. Dr. Tessie Thomas. Sir, Sri Praveen Ramdas. So I kindly request Dr. U.S. Harish to kindly felicitate our director with a shawl. Thank you, sir. So as we conclude today's enriching session, I now invite Dr. Manasi Malgunkar, Member Governing Council WIPA, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Surasa. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my privilege and honor to deliver the vote of thanks for the inspiring face-to-face interaction session, which has been an extraordinary opportunity to engage with some of India's most distinguished scientists and leaders. So I sincerely thank Dr. Tessie Thomas for her incredible contributions and motivating every one of us to explore the frontiers in science. Thank you, ma'am. I thank Dr. N. Kalaiselvi, ma'am, for sharing her journey and wisdom, which has really inspired all of us. And definitely I know that every one of us will dream bigger and work harder for better India. I thank Dr. Ananta Radhakrishnan sir, Director NIIST. Then also I thank Dr. Harish and Shri Praveen Ramdas ji for attending this particular session. Thank you one and all. उसी के साथ I would definitely like to thank all the students from Shankardev Shishu Niketan, Boragaon, Maligaon, North Guwahati, Belatola, Narangi, Vishnupat and Betikushi. Along with that, students of Ramanujan Academy, Pragya Academy, LFS Lalans Nalabari Academy, thank you one and all. Thank you students for attending this particular session. कल हम फिर मिलेंगे, आप ही होंगे या आपके स्कूल से कोई और स्टूडेंट्स होंगे, लेकिन हम कल यहाँ पे फिर मिलेंगे. कल यहाँ पे हमारे साथ इसरो के चेयरमैन डॉक्टर एस सोमनाथ जी रहेंगे. So we will see you tomorrow. Thank you one and all.
I request all of you to rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय जय
Thank you all for your participation and enthusiasm, and let us continue to celebrate science and innovation for future India. Thank you all.
CSR bag இருக்குல்ல, you bring the CSR bag. People are difficult to carry that.